The Florida Senate could decide whether Governor Ron DeSantis' suspension of the state attorney in Hillsborough County will stand.
The governor is accusing him of having a social justice agenda and putting himself above the law. West 2's Marley Martinez is here in the studio. And Marley, this really comes down to whether the prosecutor is neglecting his duty.
And that's what the Florida Senate may have to decide. State law gives senators the final say on the state attorney's suspension. In the meantime, the governor is already moving forward.
To be able to reform those
making moves.
Today, we are suspending State Attorney Andrew Warren effective immediately.
Just a half hour after Governor Ron DeSantis booted Andrew Warren as state attorney in Hillsborough County.
Okay, Judge, come on up.
He introduced Warren's replacement. On Friday, the governor defended his actions.
And we had evidence that you had a fellow over in Tampa that had basically said there's certain things he's just not going to enforce.
The governor says he suspended the prosecutor in part because Warren is the only Florida state attorney who signed this letter, along with prosecutors across the country, vowing not to prosecute people who seek, provide, or support abortions, even in the wake of Florida's new 15-week abortion ban.
The 15-week abortion ban is unconstitutional. And it's not just me saying that, it is a court of law that has said that. I'm the only one at this moment who's actually making sure that we are following the law in Hillsborough County.
Constitutional law expert Lawrence Walters says the Florida Constitution gives the governor the power to suspend state attorneys for reasons like drunkenness and commission of a felony, typically offenses easier to prove. But DeSantis suspended Warren for neglect of duty.
And so that's more of an open question, particularly if there is a future promise not to enforce certain types of laws as opposed to a past history of not enforcing a certain category of law.
On Thursday, Warren said his office hasn't received any abortion or transgender therapy cases yet, but he's prepared.
We'll evaluate that case on the merits like every other single case we do in the office. But at this point, again, from what I've heard, the governor's order is just based on pure conjecture and lies about what he thinks I'm going to do with cases that haven't even come before me yet.
Maybe none of those cases have come across his desk yet in the past. And so is that a neglect of duty? That's something that the Florida Senate may have to decide.
Now, Florida senators are on the clock. In a memo, the Senate president confirmed they've received official notice of the suspension. According to state law, senators have 3 months to send out a notice of a hearing and have to make a decision by the end of the next regular session, though it remains to be seen if Warren will be taking legal action. Summer?